one of the biggest storylines ever, starting with the Meteor. At the end of Season 3, Chapter 1, meteors started falling from the sky, sometimes even killing players. There was a huge meteor in the sky that was super easy to see. Every day it got closer and closer until...
Brace for impact.
Season 4 started with Dusty Depot getting destroyed by a massive meteor, changing Dusty Depot into Dusty Divot. In the center of the divot, you can find part of the meteor still, and inside, you can see some sort of capsule. On the other side of the map, there seems to be a movie being made, Carbide being the good superhero and Omega being the bad. We will get back to them shortly though. Soon enough, these trucks and buildings started showing up with this logo on them. We would later find out that this is the I.O. just undercover with a secret logo. They build around the meteor and begin to do experiments on it. They don't get anywhere, but the capsule still opens anyway. The visitor ended up being inside of the capsule. Omega and Carbide are still making a movie on the other hand. The cast team finds a secret lair in one of the mountains and they just decide to use it for their movie, making everybody think that Omega actually made that lair. Then shortly after, a rocket showed up in it. Everyone just assumed that Omega was making the rocket because at first we didn't know Omega and Carbide were actually just filming a movie. But then we get a loading screen with the visitor in the lair messing with the rocket. A few weeks go by and we get our first ever live event. The rocket comes flying out. He goes straight up in the air, turns back down, and you can hear him say something. He says, 0 point oscillators on, setting coordinates. After he says that, he dives straight down towards Tilted Tower. When he gets so close to hitting it, he rifts away. This was the first time we ever even seen rifts. A few seconds later, he rifts back and swings past Loot Lake and rifts again. Then for the last time, he rifts out from above Loot Lake and shoots up and rifts away, leaving a massive crack in the sky. And this leads us perfectly to Season 5. Season 5 starts with a trailer where things are getting rifted away. The scene shifts, we are in California in a random desert. We see a person spray painting on the Durburger that got rifted out of the Fortnite universe into our universe. Then the next thing we see is him getting rifted away. This rocket launch didn't just affect the Fortnite universe, but every universe ever. We see him get rifted into our island, then so does the Durburger, his golf cart, a stone carriage, and a Viking ship. And the crack in the sky starts shooting lasers towards a mountain in the desert, and you can see it create what we know as Kevin the Cube. Kevin is this whole season's main story. He starts rolling around the Fortnite map, destroying anything in its path, and even creating runes on the floor. These runes were big domes that had low gravity in it. When the cube moved, you could even see there seemed to be symbols on the floor that it left behind. He did this in a few places, then eventually reached Loot Lake. The reason he was going to Loot Lake will be explained in a little bit, so just stay tuned. Falls into the lake and turning the whole lake into a bouncy purple thing, turning it into Lean Lake. Just kidding, it was still Loot Lake. This did end up leading us into Season 6. Season 6 starts with the purple lake lifting up the island in the middle, recreating the cube, leaving a huge hole in the middle of what used to be Loot Lake but is now Leaky Lake. This island started flying around the map, going to each stopping point it went through last season. This time every rune it made last season, it is now going to those and picking them up and taking them here. I'm not sure why they did this though. He ended back at Leaky Lake, started draining himself into the spiral in the lake, eventually going completely lifeless until he drops one final drop into the hole, then starts spinning and spinning and spinning. Then as he turns faster and faster, he turns white and then teleports us somewhere we have only seen once. This could be the 0 point or the place the 0 point is stored. Then the famous butterfly shows up. It comes closer to us until we touch it. This rifts us back into the Fortnite universe. We fly down and this is the most peaceful it's ever been for a very long time. You know, besides all the players fighting underneath us. It is peaceful until we get a visitor. A flag shows up at Flush Factory. And we see him spying on Calamity. This guy is known as AIM. He came to get info about this map, as where he was from sensed a strong source of power coming from our island, so he came to check it out. This source of power was the same one that Kevin the Cube was coming from. And so is the visitor, the 0 point. We see a snow island in the distance one day, and every day it gets closer and closer and closer until... Watch the season 7 through 10 storyline right here. If you don't see it, it isn't out yet, but it'll be out really soon, so expect that. Code PBJ in the Fortnite item shop. Thank you. I appreciate it a lot. Subscribe here, and thank you for watching.